Welcome to the Careers by Jen podcast, episode 210. Today on the podcast, Jen gives you 10 ways to stay healthy at your desk job. Why not start by staying away from that nasty employee fridge and microwave oven?
You're listening to the Careers by Jen podcast with me, Jen Swanson, the podcast that helps you to get the job, love your work, and advance your career. Do you work at a desk or in a job situation where you spend a lot of time hunched over a computer? Are you noticing that hours can go by without you ever even moving? Have you heard that lots of sitting is the new smoking in terms of how bad it is for your health? Well, if you can relate to any of this episode is for you. And this speaks to me because a lot of what I do in all of my jobs, as a church minister, as a podcaster here at Careers by Jen, as an online teacher, and as a corporate trainer, a lot of my time is spent creating content or preparing content on a computer or talking on the phone. And so I find myself sitting far too often. So together, let's get healthier, okay? I'm going to offer you 10 tips, 10 ways to stay healthy at a desk job. And I'm going to start with one that has some sneaky side benefits built in right after this.
You've updated your resume, you've sent it out, and you've been selected for an interview. Congratulations! And now you want to get ready, really ready. This is where Careers by Jen can help. We have a comprehensive online course called How to Ace a Job Interview When You Haven't Interviewed in a Long Time. This video-based course is jam-packed with information, advice, and exercises to help you get completely prepared to walk into an interview situation with confidence. From exactly what to prepare in advance, to how to answer common questions, to what questions you might ask the interviewer, and so much more, this course is designed to get you ready. Visit careersbyjen.com and click on Training Resources to see the curriculum, preview a couple of the introductory lessons, and see what others who have taken the course are saying about it. Visit careersbyjen.com and get ready to ace your next interview.
Okay, so the very first tip I have for you today to help keep you healthy at your desk job is number one, to drink water. Lots of it. All day long. Not only is this excellent for your overall health, for your skin and how it looks, for weight control, for your kidneys, being well hydrated is very important on so many levels for your body. But the sneaky side benefits of concertedly, consciously drinking water all day long is that you will be forced to move. You will have to get up to go and refill your water bottle or your mug or your glass, assuming, of course, that you are using environmentally kind, refillable water bottles or glassware and not those horrendous bottles of water that you just throw out after using once. That's me on my soapbox. And eventually you will have to relieve yourself of all of that fluid via elimination at least a few times during your day. So that will get you up and get you moving too. So these sneaky side benefits, which are healthy and good for you, can also be yours if you decide to drink more water every single day. And one of our kids got for Christmas a very, very large double-walled insulated water bottle or water glass, and is now making it her goal to drink at least 2 of these a day. And it's probably got to be at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 cups, 250 milliliter cups or imperial measure cup of water in each glass. So she's trying to drink 2 or 3 of those all day long, and it's working because it's there, it's in front of her. She's got a straw because she likes the straw, reusable straw, and she just refills that water glass repeatedly throughout the day and works on that. So try that. Give yourself a goal and get drinking more water. The second tip that I have for you today is to move often. Now you can set an alarm or a reminder on your phone, or download an app that notifies you when it's time, or even just pay attention to how long you've been sitting and make it a priority to move as often as you can. It's only been about the last, 150 or 200 years that human beings have been so sedentary. Before that, we were farming or we were working outside, moving our bodies to carry water and haul food and look after animals and such. And it's only in recent times that we are, in the very, very long history of humanity, that we have stopped moving. We were built to move. And so not moving is unnatural. One of the things you can do is park at the far end of your workplace parking lot if you drive to work and force yourself to walk. You can do that at the grocery store too, or if you're running errands, park as far away in the parking lot as you can to make yourself walk into that building. Maybe your workplace has a lunchtime fitness program. Some of them have yoga programs or activities that you can do at lunchtime. And other workplaces have incentive programs for joining a gym, and some workplaces have gyms built right into them. Whatever the case, work at moving your body and work at doing that in your day. Just small things to begin with and add more as you get used to doing so. So just get moving. That's number 2. Number 3 is to stand more. It takes a lot more effort and a lot more muscle coordination, a lot more balance to stand. We bought a Very desk for our home office and podcast studio quite some time ago, and I'm using it right now as I record this episode. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can come over to the resources page at careersbyjen.com. And if you decide to order anything from that page, it won't cost you any more, but I will get a small commission out of it. So just so that you know, it's an affiliate link, but you can see a picture of what a Very desk is. It's a platform that rests on top of whatever kind of desk you already have. I've actually got it sitting on an antique table at this time. And it has handles on the sides, and I can release the handles and raise the desk to a height that works for my body. I'm 5'6", and so I can click the Very desk into place and stand at a height that is comfortable, that is better for my ergonomics, that is good for my posture. And I do that every once in a while when I get tired of sitting. Now, my husband Scott is 6'4", so he loves the Very desk also because he can fix it so that it's the right height for his body, for his posture, and just with a click of the handles on the side, it adjusts. Now, if your workplace will accommodate the purchase of such an item as this Very desk, you might want to look into that, because then you can vary sitting or standing throughout the day, which is much better for you than just sitting. If your workplace doesn't have such a program, or they won't provide one of these standing desks, then see that if you can find a ledge or a windowsill or a box or something that you can put your computer up onto for a while, if it's a laptop, and make that work. If it's a stationary one, maybe you can move the keyboard and just stand for a little while. Maybe you can even balance it on top of a file box or a briefcase or something, and make that work. Whatever you can do to stand for some of the time that you have to be on the computer. It's much healthier for your body. Another trick or habit that some people do is to stand every time the phone rings. Now, that might not work depending on how often your phone rings, but you could stand up to have a conversation on the telephone and just make that part of your routine so that you are up and down a little bit more. So that's number 3, stand more. Number 4 is to take breaks. Now, some of us tend to work through lunch because although we might not be doing official work on our screens, there are so many other things to occupy our time with online, things to look up and things to catch up on. And sometimes lunchtime is where you do that catching up on personal email and social media, etc. But if you've been sitting for hours, then sitting at your desk to have your lunch is just not a good idea. forcing yourself to take a break, not only from the work that you're doing, but from your desk area completely, is a good way to get out of your head and into your body. And sometimes you come back to what you were doing before with freshness, with better perspective, or you're able to solve a problem if you just give yourself a break from it for a while. So go somewhere else for your break and for your lunch. Go outside or into a break room or next to a sunny window, or walk the halls, or anything other than sitting where you've been all morning. And I was really bad for this when I was teaching at the college, because it was just easy to grab my lunch and sit eating my lunch at the desk. But honestly, it was much more refreshing to get outside and walk around and breathe in some fresh air. The fifth tip that I have for you is to meet people face to face. If you need to speak to someone in your workplace, in your organization, the tendency might be to fire off an email or pick up the phone and call them, even if they are just down the hall in another office. Instead, if you can, try wandering down that hall to where they are and talking to them face to face. Well, novel idea, right? That'll get you moving. That'll give you a chance to change your scenery a little bit. And sometimes it's actually faster than trying to compose an email. Now, this is not always possible depending on what kind of workplace you are in. But if you can, whenever possible, make it a habit to go and find the person and talk face to face, because that will just get you moving. And sometimes it's nicer to actually have a conversation with a human being in person than it is to always be doing it through the screen and the technology that we've got. All right, back with 5 more tips to keep you healthy at a desk job right after this.
Are you procrastinating? Do you want to start a job search but aren't quite sure where to begin? Is it all just a little overwhelming? At Careers by Jen, we have a 5-day Jumpstart Your Job Search Challenge to help you get unstuck and move toward finding your dream job. Every day for 5 days, you'll receive an email to your inbox that asks you to complete one task. Every task you complete moves you closer toward your goal. The best part about this challenge is that it's absolutely free. Come over to careersbyjen.com and you'll see the 5-day Jumpstart Your Job Search Challenge on the right-hand side of the screen. Click on the image of Jen, sign up with your email address, and you'll be 5 days closer to reaching your goal. Why wait when you can get busy? Visit careersbyjen.com after this podcast.
So number 6 in our list of things to help you stay healthy at a desk job, number 6 is to get creative with your meetings. Meetings, there are so many meetings. And by this, I mean, why must meetings always be sitting around a boardroom table? Sometimes they need to be, sure. If you've got stuff on a screen for a presentation, etc., you've got to write a lot of things, then it makes sense to have to sit at a table with a screen available around, so that you can all look at each other and have a conversation. But what if you didn't have to have a screen, or you didn't have to write things down? What if you suggested a walking meeting outside, or even inside if the weather is awful outside? Maybe you could all walk down to a coffee shop in your building or something. Maybe there's a sitting area in the lobby that you could wander down the stairs to or something, just to get a little movement in there. Can you get creative and think about how to get people you need to meet with moving? I did a workshop on this topic on sedentary, keeping yourself healthy in a sedentary workplace last fall. And when I suggested walking meetings, one of the participants said, "Oh yeah, we could go for a walk by the river for our next staff meeting." And one of her coworkers looked amazed and said, "There's a river?" The river was really close by to the industrial park where we were having this workshop. But it seems that this guy had never noticed how close his workplace was to the river that happened to be just like a block and a half away. So it just goes to show you how sometimes we keep our heads down too much. We get from A to B without actually looking around at what's around. So the group decided that the next meeting they would try having a walking meeting if it was nice out down by the river. Walking meetings. You could even suggest a walking lunch with a colleague, which is a perfect segue into the next tip for staying healthy in a desk job. This is tip number 7. Pack your own lunch. Grabbing cafeteria or coffee shop lunch at the bistro in your building or the fast food place down the street, it's all fine and dandy on an occasional basis. But eating out every lunchtime is a pretty quick way to become both unhealthy and broke. Restaurant food, especially fast food, is often not the best choice health-wise, and we all know that, and it's expensive. Not all the ingredients are listed, and there's often lots of salt and saturated fats and extra calories involved. And it is just, you're not working towards becoming a healthier you if you are always eating out. Now, I recently have developed yet another allergy in my long list of foods that I cannot eat. And this latest allergy, oh joy of joys, is to soy. So eating takeout food is really a challenge for me these days because I have so many foods that I can't tolerate. Anything with gluten or nuts or peanuts, I'm allergic to, and now anything that contains soy. And believe me, soy is in everything. So the tip here is to take that extra time on the weekends or in the evenings and do some food prep and pack yourself a healthy lunch each day made up of real food that doesn't have all those additives and extra things in it. You'll be healthier for it and you'll have more money in the end too. Number 8 is to stretch. There are lots of programs and lots of articles that you can find on YouTube and online, other places that tell you ways to stretch and do some actual exercise while you're at your desk. Now, some of these are really subtle, so people won't know that you're even doing anything. And these can be things like shoulder shrugs and some of the arm and neck stretches. And then there are some more obvious exercises like something called the chair dip, where you push your chair back a little bit from the desk and then you put your hands behind you onto the chair, supporting your arms, and then your knees are bent out in front of you, and you bend at the elbows and lower and raise your behind in a sitting position with the idea that you will touch your behind to the floor and then lift it back up again. It's like a backwards push-up. It's hard to explain this on a podcast. But if you put desk exercises into your search engine, you're going to see what I mean, because there are multiple ideas for getting some stretching in while you're sitting at a desk. And even stretching and moving your legs around and maybe doing some ankle and wrist rotations will all help to get the blood circulating properly. And this can prevent things like blood clots. And you know, there are all sorts of reasons why. Like I said before, moving is natural and normal for human beings. So sitting still for hours on end is going to stagnate everything in your body and slow down your metabolism, etc., etc. So stretch and move. Even if you do have to stay sitting, you don't have to sit still, right? So get stretching a little bit. Number 9 is take the stairs. In other words, skip the elevator. So depending on what floor your office or your workspace is located on, it may or may not be possible to take the stairs all the way up. But if you're able to walk, then why not get out of the elevator a floor or two below or beyond where you need to be and take the stairs the rest of the way. If you are on a floor that is only 1 or 2 stories high, then try to make it a habit to skip that elevator and get that cardio and that leg workout in while you have to get to work anyway. You can do this in all sorts of places, not just at work. So if you're shopping or you're going to a medical or a dental appointment or you're going to the library or the movies, is there a staircase in the building that you find yourself in that you can use rather than taking the the elevator. It's often faster and your body will thank you for it. So wherever you are, if you're not working in a workplace that has stairs, think outside of work. Where else in your day or your evening can you move your body and skip the elevator and take the stairs? The 10th suggestion that I have for you is to keep track of your steps. Now, for some people, counting steps is both motivating and rewarding. Set yourself a goal each day and then keep track of how you are doing with that goal. And you can use a Fitbit or a step counter or an app on your phone. There are all sorts of devices that you can get. Any of these will help to keep you moving. If you get partway through your day and you notice you haven't been moving much, you can adjust and you can step it up, to use a bad pun. So set a realistic goal and increase that goal from time to time once you've been regularly meeting it so that you push yourself a little bit. Maybe you live close enough to your workplace that you can walk. I dream about that. I mean, okay, for this part of my work, I walk downstairs. So yes, that's easy. But for the other work that I do, I have to get into a car and drive. So, but if you live anywhere near where you work, then walk to work once in a while or ride your bicycle once in a while and get your exercise in while you're on your way to work because you have to get to work anyway. All right. Well, those are 10 ways to stay healthy at your desk job. If you have more ideas, I would love for you to leave them for me in the comments over at careersbyjen.com. You can tweet them to me at careersbyjen, or you can post a picture of yourself moving in some way at work over on our Careers by Jen Facebook page. And I'm also on Instagram and YouTube. So wherever you find me, leave me a message about other things that you have, other ideas that you have for helping to add movement into your day, which will help you to stay healthy at your desk job. I am here to tell you today to just get moving. Okay, well, thanks so much for listening. You've been listening to Careers by Jen with Jen Swanson. If you like what you heard, please share this. You know, if every single person listening today shared this episode with just one friend, our audience would be twice as big just like that. And the more people we can help with our content, the better. So help out a friend and help grow our audience by sharing this show with someone you know who would benefit from the content. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and together we can make a difference. Until next time, take good care.